Hello. So, full transparency. If you guys did not know, due to COVID, not being able to travel for sponsorships and events and all that kind of stuff, I have not been full-time streaming. I got a real job. This is not going to be a huge, long update video. We're going to jump into what I want to do. But I got a real job. I'm doing website coding, and so I really miss content. So when I can, I had an idea. So my idea is this. The Sims 4 I love building challenges. I watch Lil Simsy like every single day. I love Plumbella. Those are like my two favorite Sims YouTubers. And it's just so inspiring, and I love building challenges. And my idea was this. Okay, randomly generate a sim. Randomize every aspect of the sim. Correct? Whatever that sim ends up looking like, whoever that sim is, we then randomize a simoleon amount to build a house. I figured we could start with like 10 to like 50,000, because I don't want the builds to be too long. 10 to 50,000 simoleons. Randomize that number. And then build a home for this randomized sim that embodies who this sim is. No matter how ugly, no matter how unique, no matter how difficult. I don't know what I'm going to call this challenge yet. If you have a good idea or a good name for this challenge, please leave it in the comments. Again, randomizing a sim, randomizing the money, building a home for this immaculate sim. So that's just, I thought this was a really cool challenge idea, and I'm going to do it. So here we go. Okay, so this is the plan. We are going to randomize the skin, randomize every aspect of the sim that we can randomize. And then once we randomize the sim and the money, we're going to be jumping into a speed build. So I will, in editing, come back and I'll put my face on the screen. Oh, hello. And while the build is speed building, I will commentate over it. No, thank you. Okay, first of all, let's randomize their traits. And can we randomize if it's going to be a boy or girl? Well, we got a man's. So let's do one randomize.
Bossy Jewel.
Can we randomize faces? Oh, you can. One randomize. Okay. Hair, one randomized. Okay. Can we do facial hair? Yeah, one randomized. Okay. Hats, one randomized. We're just going to go through and we're going to randomize everything. Oh, can you not randomize these? Well, I guess the ones that they came with is fine. Can you randomize makeup? Cannot randomize makeup. Moving on to the body. Okay, let's do a randomization. There we go. We're just gonna go for it. Top, pants, accessories. Guess we're not randomizing those. Shoes. Alrighty. Wow. So hello, my name is Kyrian Hoover. Well, hello, Kyrian Hoover. I like the vibe of this dude. Honestly, I'm thinking, so his randomized traits were dog lover, ambitious, and he's a slob. We're making a dog dad. We're totally making a dog dad. Well, I guess his aspiration, he's a dog dad. Friend of the animals. All right, Kyrian Hoover. The dog dad, the blue dog dad of the century. We're making you a doggy dog palace. Now that we have Kyrian Hoover, our blue daddy doggo daddy-o. Man, I'm kind of getting a jazz vibe from him. Oh, this is going to be good. Let's go ahead and generate how many simoleons we're going to have for this challenge. 6,040 simoleons to make a dog daddy-o palace. I can do this. I can totally do this. This is a good amount. I can totally do this. Hello, my eels. For you, it's only been a moment. But for me, I'm in the same clothes. It's tomorrow. I went to sleep last night. Still getting back into the groove. I mean, I never really was in the groove of making YouTube videos, but anyway. So, Mr. Carrion Hoover. When I look at him, and as you can see, we've put him on the screen, with the bucket hat, and the little facial hair and everything about him, I just feel like he is such a crafty guy. I feel like he probably found a warehouse and remade it into his home. So as you guys can see right now, I'm going with the warehouse vibes. We're figuring out what kind of windows we're going to be doing. And for Mr. Kyrian, I really wanted to stick with the theme of blues and gray tones, almost like a container warehouse kind of vibe. I still wanted it to be very industrial. This was kind of out of my comfort zone, but that's what I love about this challenge is each new sim that gets randomized is going to be a completely different type of vibe, you know? I really loved this blue lamp. It reminded me of a blue moon. I loved that. I forgot that we had that with Parenthood. So I'm just going through looking for what kind of lamp I'm gonna want. And also Mr. Carrion just gave me the vibes that he was gonna be a dog daddy. You know, like how we have, cat ladies and cat moms and all of that. He's a doggo daddy. I was fiddling around with the idea with doing it 2 levels because I wanted to utilize the space underneath the platform, but you can't do that in The Sims right now, and I really wish you could cut out space underneath the platform. That would be really cool. But I just kind of realized that this would probably be the best way to do it is just using platforms. I wanted it to be split level. I had some inspiration photos of warehouses that had been converted, and they just looked so cool and industrial. And if I was doing this for me, I would have done it a different way. But also, as you saw, 6,000 simoleons. I don't know what in my brain told me that between 5 and 10K was enough to build a house. It's definitely not. So later on for the next video, we're probably gonna do 5 to 100K to build a house, because this was a struggle. So I'm using these stairs right now, and they're so expensive. They're so expensive. I had to go back and redo a lot of this house many times. I mean, I'm happy that I did, but it's definitely way more of a starter home. It's definitely way more of, it needs some upgrades. Mr. Kyrian spent all of his money buying this little warehouse, transforming it into a livable place, and now he has to go with the bare minimums for a little while. So now I'm just I'm going to be moving on to the kitchen next, and as I go into the kitchen, I really wanted to use the countertops from Snowy Escape. I just felt like they gave the more open industrial feel in the black swatch, but they ended up being way too expensive. I go in and replace basically everything in the kitchen. I really love this idea of using platforms and creating a nook to have a kitchen in. I think that is so cool. I am not the best builder in the world, but I think that I can learn how to use platforms a lot cooler. Been getting really inspired from a lot of other Sims YouTubers. I mean, don't we all, honestly? And now I'm wanting to put down a metal flooring because I'm trying to keep it within the warehouse vibes. I grew up going to a lot of warehouses growing up. Either we would have concrete floor or it would be this kind of brushed galvanized metal flooring because it was easier to clean up. So I went with that. I liked how it looked. It kind of looks like wood, but with the industrial bolts on it. I really liked that. I was trying to figure out if there's going to be a way that I could put in a dining room table, but I couldn't get I wasn't doing show live all objects, so I couldn't get the really cheap table that most people use for challenges. Didn't really work out for me. Completely forgot about it, but I'm new to challenges, so we're learning together, you know? I end up putting a little bar right there, and having this is just, you walk in, there's a kitchen. This is a tiny home. Oh, I could have put it as a tiny home. Walk in, there's a kitchen, you go upstairs, that's where you sleep. That's basically this build. Me realizing that I need a lot more money. At least I'm really starting to feel that right about now. Also realizing I need a bathroom. Also realizing that most of the things that I need in this build are not in this build right now. Really kind of hoping I had gone 2 stories instead of just 1 story, so I could put more space above and below. But I really wanted to try out the platforms, and we're going with this kind of metal siding as well. I think we're about to move the bathroom, because I realized that for the siding for the platforms, I didn't have what I wanted to have there. I didn't want it to be split. I wish you could just put whatever wallpaper on platforms. That would be really cool. I mean, I like the options that they give us, but it would be really cool if we could just put whatever wallpaper we want on the platforms. I'm going to be using, the tiniest bathroom trick where you use the Sims University shower and bathroom. I mean, realistically, I didn't put a sink downstairs. Many things that I realized that I didn't do, like on the bathroom, there's a wall that doesn't have wallpaper on it that I figure out later. It's just those kinds of things that you don't think about when you're doing a build challenge, when all I do is watch build challenges and I don't do them myself. I really liked this bed. But I'm actually kind of proud of this build, just because I feel like it really does embody Mysticarian. I really think it does. I actually used a crate for his bedside table, which I thought was such a cool idea because he would have found it. It's all like found items, objects, industrial feeling things. Like he might have gone dumpster diving for this kitchen set. You never know. The plumbing was something he definitely had to add, but there could have been a bathroom in here in the first place. I ended up changing a few more things aesthetically. Now is the point when I realized that the stairs that I was using was so incredibly expensive because I was out of money that it gave me back like 1,400 simoleons. And just going back, because I still liked the split level stairs. I thought that was such a cool idea instead of just putting one staircase. And I added that cool like industrial looking sink that would have been in a warehouse. So maybe there was the split leveling here. Maybe downstairs was where things were built and upstairs was an office that had a bathroom. But he still went in and converted it, but kept some of the old industrial things that used to live there just to make it. It's just really, I've kind of always wanted to live in a warehouse. I don't know. I really love industrial looks. I put industrial looks into a lot of my decorating that I do IRL. And now I'm just kind of trying to figure out, how can I dress this up? I have a little bit extra money now. What can I do to dress this up? So I'm looking at different lights. I don't really like how any of them are looking. I would have really liked to use this really big industrial looking lamp, but I just feel like it gets in the way. So I don't end up using that. I end up just using the small little lamps. Maybe if I had done this again, or if I just had all the money in the world, I would have gone completely all out with this build. But because I only had 6,000 simoleons, I had to add a dog bowl, because even though there's no dog now, there will be, because he's a doggo daddy. He looks like a doggo daddy. I wanted to add some shelves just to break up the wall where the kitchen is a little bit, and also give him some space to like hang some things up. I was fiddling around with some of the other dog items. I don't believe I kept that. I just wanted to give it a little, because that just made sense to have like by the stairs, grab your leash on the way out, but it didn't end up working for this build. Didn't feel right, didn't look right. It looked too real suburban house instead of I'm just hanging up the dog leashes on the wall. with nails that I found in the warehouse. I also gave him a woodworking table because I figured that he would need to start building up that skill, or he already has a really high skill in either woodworking, carpentry, that kind of vibe. I also used some newspaper, and I wanted to put some muddy paw prints around I don't feel like that this place would be extremely clean. I don't feel like he's an extremely clean sim. I feel like he's definitely a little messy. And I wanted to show that off with leaving some newspaper, using newspaper as like his rug, maybe leaving some clothes out on the floor. I got this little adopt a dog poster because I really wanted it to embody that he wants a dog. Dogs are his life. And I put also this little dog statue. That doesn't end up staying. It really doesn't end up staying. I end up needing the money for something else. Also, I don't know how I sunk it into the ground, but I did. So this is where we start landscaping, and I definitely use debug landscaping because 6,000 simoleons is not enough. If you don't know how to do debug landscaping, it's bb.show all hidden objects, bb.show all live edit objects, and you'll be able to see all of the debug items, and most of the time they're free, so it really helps. I also use some debug items to kind of decorate the inside, add some pots and pans to the kitchen, really just kind of make it, because it just feels so, I wish I'd had more money so I could do more, but it just feels so, I hate the kitchen, but that's just because it's old. Maybe we can do a little upgrade or Rooney. Maybe we can turn this series into like a 2-part series. So we have the sim, Mr. Kyrian, the doggo daddy. He has his home, his aesthetic home. He had 6,000 simoleons to do it. So maybe I do another video where a fixer-upper comes in, or I do another video where Kyrian, I play his character a little bit, really see and embody Kyrian Hoover, get a little bit of money, do some house upgrades, just like how we would in real life. It's not perfect as soon as we move into a place every time. I also was just adding some fizzy juice. I found these yarnies. I don't know what these yarnies are. I don't know where they come from. I'm assuming they come from Nifty Knitting, but I've never seen them before, and I thought they were the cutest things in the whole world. I want them, but I don't want to cheat to get them. I want to get them for realsies. So if you don't know, with debug objects, you have to put out a lot of them because you can't duplicate debug objects. So I'm just going through the directory and I'm just finding a lot of plants that I want to use. I really want the build to feel really overgrown. He's not a landscaper. He's not a gardener. Again, this was probably a warehouse on a lot that he transformed into the home that he's in now. And maybe one day he can do a little bit of gardening, and maybe he finds a partner and that partner loves gardening or something like that. He loves dogs, so maybe he loves the outdoors as well. We'll just have to see. But definitely wanted an overgrown look. And I loved this newsstand. It's where you get newspapers from. I figured that in a real warehouse, something like that totally would be outside. I was also looking for some other industrial looking items that would make it feel more like it was part of a warehouse district again. So I think I ended up settling on this big, it's like a light pole. And I probably could have done another one, but I really ended up liking how it looked. I liked that cell tower, I think that's what it's called, too. And then I was also looking for maybe a fence that I could use for the backyard. But with as much of a free spirit as Kyrian is, turning a container warehouse into his home, I figured that whatever dog he finds first will also be that way. So this is me trying to build some sort of parking lot that would be in front of a warehouse. But I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to be old. I wanted it to be cracked, it's gone through some wear and tear. Because this warehouse has been out of commission and now it's a house. So definitely just making it look a little bit more worn. Now using all of the plants that I got to frame around this section and moving some of the trees around as well. because you might have gone up the middle and parked to the left, and there's like 2 parking spots to the left or to the right, wherever it may have been, but now it's overgrown. Now the plants are reclaiming the industry. I love that. Don't you guys love when there's industrial buildings or industrial leftover items and the jungle and nature just overtakes it and there's just vines climbing all up in it? I love that. I think it's so cool. So we are wrapping up on this build. I put that telephone pole there. I really ended up liking how it looked. And then I realized that I need a mailbox. I need a trash can. Didn't leave a trash can anywhere to be found. These are the things that are always forgotten. These are the things that you were probably yelling at me through my screen. Also, didn't put the kitchen back to where it was. Realized I need more money because trash cans are expensive. So I sold the dog poster, sold one of the countertops, and got myself a trash can. At least it's a little bit more open now. And I think that, I was trying to get more money because I wanted to be able to put the countertop back. But we only really need one spot. It's a work in progress, it's not completely done. And then the first dog that we could find, I really wanted it to be just the first dog, random, first. So I let him play with the dog a little bit more. I don't remember, what is the dog's name? Excuse me, sir, what is your name? Oh, he doesn't have a name yet, that's right. I rename him. Give him some cuddle love and some affection. He deserved it. He found his doggo, and now we're just gonna adopt him. It's the new love of his dog, his adult life. His name is Cashew. Cashew and Kyrian, the cutest little doggo daddy couple in the world. But that's it. Enjoy the screenshots, guys.